G'day guys, or welcome to another layout. This one's fun. That's what this one is. It's fun. Now, I have gone ahead and I had an idea in my head. You can see a list of words next to me there. That is going to be a lot of what I'm writing down. I have grabbed out my Couture Creations sanding block and I've distressed the photo. As you can see, I'm just tracing around. These circles have been floating around on my desk for I don't know how long. They're ones that I die cut for something eons ago, did the layout, I had leftovers. Always have leftovers. Anyway, they're sitting on my desk and I think to myself, I'm just going to trace it and cut it. But when it comes to doing this one in the center, I'm doing the spotlight effect. I really like this effect when it comes to cutting photos, and especially see how Jen's so small in this photo and the photo is so much larger and it's all grass and all that sort of thing. It's a good way of highlighting what you're actually looking at. So because this layout is more just, I have wanted to do a layout like this for so long and I just keep forgetting about it. So I do it all in pencil first. So I have sped this up to light speed purely because it's really, really simple, and because I go over things and all that, I wanted to make sure that I was going fast enough that you didn't get bored. I don't want you to get bored, and I don't want you to click off either, because you know it helps me bring you more content. So now I added the washi tape for the border because I wanted to have a border at the end, but I didn't want any of these words to be half words. I don't mind having a word that stretches from one side of the photo to the other. That's fine, but I didn't want there to be just a couple of letters and nothing, because this is my title and this is my journaling all in one big piece. So I am using words that describe Jennifer to me. So these are words I would use to describe her. And yeah, staunch is actually a word that my older brother calls her when it comes to gymnastics. So because this is a gymnastics photo, I put that one in there. Gregarious, authentic, laughter, funny, sweet-hearted, love. I just love this kid. And yeah, it was just a photo. This is more about the process, the scrapbooking process side of it, rather than the memory of the photo, because I've actually already scrapped photos like this. So it wasn't really, this is me just wanting to play. And I just came into the craft room. It was freezing cold. I'd been watching the V8s with my husband. And yeah, I wanted to, what I was doing on my phone there was I was looking up another word because I wanted to make sure that I had sincere spelt right. Do you have one word that you spell wrong, and if you do it once, you do it a million times? I swear I can hear my grade 5 teacher yelling in my ear, who he has passed now, so, but I can hear him yelling at me because I didn't study enough to get my words right. And sincere is one of those words I spell wrong every time. Now this may freak you out a little bit. Okay, I pulled out some poster paint. These are giant bottles of paint that I had from daycare when I used to look after daycare children. And you can see I'm about to make a big mess, right? Okay, get ready. You may or may not have a heart attack. Ready? Go. I wanted it to splat, like a big splat, and it didn't do it. It did not work. So then I had to get my fingers in there and get really, really messy. If this freaks you out, I apologize in advance, but I've got to tell you, it looks so good at the end. Now, I don't make you watch me dry it because it's acrylic paint and it took a little bit to dry because it's, you know, a little bit thick. So I do come in and I actually ended up, there you go, magically, by the magic of television, it is dry. So I am just being very cautious though, and I'm still putting paper towel. It took me about, it probably took about 15 minutes to dry it properly right through because some of the bits were quite chunky. And I did take out that centerpiece. I didn't bother trying to dry that because I knew that's where I was putting my photo. Then I brought out my POSCA paint pen and I'm tracing over where the words were written. And I didn't really think about it. In hindsight, I wish I had gone over the words in black first and then done the paint. But that's okay. We live and we learn, right? Next time, I'll do it like that. The reason why is because I was struggling to see what words were underneath because the paint really, really covered it. But that's okay. We live and we learn. It still looks awesome. I absolutely love how it looks. And my POSCA paint pen was doing the job magically. This is the bullet tip pen. So this is the one that's 0.9 to 1.3 millimeter tip. So I'm just going over the words. This is just my writing. This is just how I do it in capital letters. And I'm trying to make some of the letters smaller. The words are getting larger. I don't know if there's an actual term for this, but years and years and years and years, like I'm talking 6, maybe 7 years ago, I actually did this in one of my journals and I loved it. And I went through a phase where this is how I was writing on everything. And I never brought it over into my scrapbooking world. Well, guess what? Now it's in my scrapbooking world because it's awesome. So then I decided that I was going to do the technique where I go through and colour inside any holes that are in any of the words. And as I said, I've done this in my art journaling, but not on a layout. And I think it looks really effective. Honestly, all I've used on this layout is some poster paint, a little bit of sequins at the end, my POSCA paint pen, and I do come in with my UNIBALL SIGNO Gel Impact pen in silver. I do come in with that. Now, you can see I've gone over all this with my POSCA paint pen, right? Now, it's an acrylic paint. It's fantastic. These pens are the bomb.com. Do not drag them through wet paint. They are not your friend if you do that. They will stop and die. And considering these pens are, for us here in Australia, I can usually get them at Officeworks for about $5.50, $6, something like that. That's a lot of money to waste if you drag it through paint. So that is the one thing you won't see me do. You might see me splat paint, and believe it or not, there was actually nothing harmed in the making of that splatting. I did manage to cover everything, not too bad. I did get my shirt. I swear I need to get aprons. I swear to God. I need to buy aprons because when I get messy, I just go to town and just do whatever I want to do. Now, you can see here, I'm just very, very roughly doing a black, I'm going to call it an offset. What am I doing? I'm mounting the photo on black cardstock. Words are getting away from me. What can I say? So, yeah, so I mounted it on some cardstock. Absolutely love how that looks. And then my spotlight, I do raise that up ever so slightly. So now when you look at it, you see the whole circle, but you focus more on the smaller circle. Now this is my little fine tip bottle that I bought from Crafts Online for like $2 for 2-pack of them. And I've put black acrylic paint in it. It dries matte black, this paint, and it's the Jo Sonia's brand. And I am loving going around things and highlighting things with this paint because it dries with texture. So it stays raised nice and thick because that's the type of paint that it is. And it is so much better than dragging your Posca paint pen through the mess and wrecking your pen. Hindsight, I probably would have actually gone over the letters with this little squeezy bottle. I probably would have done that. I ended up going over the lines with the paint just to give them a bit more rigid, like a bit more of a ridge on them. And yeah, I absolutely love how, if you've got one of these little bottles, you've got to do it. You've got to give it a try. If you like mixed media at all, give it a crack. Now, I'm just going around and just highlighting some of, well, the larger blobs, I suppose you'd call it. So, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And I love how it turns out. It's so bright and so bold. I absolutely love it. And I wish I had have probably done the turquoise, dried it, and then done the purple on top. But we live and we learn. The reason I would like to do it like that next time is so that the colours don't mix so much and they don't sort of muddy up a little bit. But that's all right. It's okay. It looks fine. I'm happy with it. So, yeah. So that is my layout, guys. Then I've got to come in and try and make sure that everything's dry. I have to cut where I had the washi tape. I'm cutting that whole big chunk off. And I'm actually mounting the whole thing on black because I think it needs a black border. And I'm still trying to use up this horrible, horrible cardstock that you can't use. You can't put it through. You can't cut it with a personal trimmer. You can't do anything with it. It's awful stuff. So I'm using it for my black borders and that's about it. And then I glue it all down and I'm really, really happy with that. I do end up doing a drop shadow, and that's what I'm doing here. Main reason behind doing that is I really like a bit of metallic something on my page, and just doing the drop shadow in the silver, I wish I had have done gold because the silver is very, very difficult to see on camera. In real life, it looks amazing. It really, really does. It looks fantastic. But unfortunately, you can't. I apologize. I just yawned. That is so rude. We have gone here in Queensland. We've gone from 36-degree day down to a 20-degree day. It makes no sense. Help me make it make sense because it just doesn't. It really doesn't. Now, I'll have everything listed below in the description that I have used on this particular layout. Now, all I do after this is I come in with some sequins and add a little bit more shimmer and shine to the layout. Although you could have quite easily just left it where it is. I think that is just as good. Now, I really do love this. The drop shadowing, like I said, everyone does it slightly different. You just pick which side of the letter that you want to do your shadow on, and you do it on that same side of every single letter. The place where people go wrong, here's my sequins. I love these sequins tubs. They're just so pretty. Oh, the shimmery goodness. It's so good. Yeah, so if you're struggling with your lettering, there is a tips video for it. I think it's 23 or 25, number 23 or 25. I can't remember which one it is. And it is magnificent. It tells you and shows you the easiest way to do it. And 9 times out of 10, the problem why yours doesn't quite look right is because you've done your shadow on 2 different sides. As soon as you do it all on one side, it doesn't matter if it's the top, the bottom, the left, the right. As long as you're doing that across all of them, you're set. Not a problem whatsoever. Now here's my video. Here's my layout, guys. If you like it, if you got value from this video, if it freaked you out because I put paint everywhere, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. It's free. My link to buy me a coffee is in the description below if you would like to help support the channel. It is completely up to you. And that is my layout done, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back tomorrow with another video. Thanks for that. Bye for now.